Welcome to FQLive. This is Rose Fresh Fausto, the FQ Mom. To those of you who are tuning in for the first time, FQ stands for Financial Intelligence Quotient. But for those of you who have been following me, I've missed you for 2 Wednesdays already. Probably you know that my mom passed away quite recently. And to those who extend their sympathies, thank you very, very much. They really mean so much to our family. Okay, so for today, it's going to be a special day because when I come back to bring you FQ Live straight from our library, we do have a special guest for today, and he is my favorite person in the world. So without further ado, let us welcome the founding president of the Fund Managers Association, Mr. Marvin Fausto. Hello. So why don't you greet our viewers?
Yeah.
Today?
Hi everyone. Hello, Marvin Fausto. the
what?
What?
The who is better half?
The better half.
The better and the best.
Yeah.
Anyway, the reason why we're having Marvin as our guest for FQ Live today is that something is happening pretty soon, actually this month. And
Yes.
To those of you who already read my article, it's entitled, "My husband's other baby is turning 20." To those of you who haven't read it, the link is down there in the comment section. So, what is this other baby, honey? Tell us about your other baby.
Yes, my other baby is turning 20 years next week, April 22. It actually is not another boy or another girl or another child. It's the association I helped establish 20 years ago. It is the Fund Managers Association of the Philippines, or FMAP. We formalized it in April 22, 1997.
All right, that's 1997. So, do you remember what was happening in 1997?
Oh wow, 1997. For those of you who do not know, that was the Asian financial crisis.
Yeah.
That was when the foreign exchange of the countries like Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, of course the Philippines, suddenly devalued in a very large amount, almost doubled. Like for example, our Philippine Peso went up from 26 all the way up to 54 pesos.
Yeah, the exchange rate.
The exchange rate of peso to the dollar.
And that was after it was hovering at a very, relatively stable level of 25, 26.
Yes, it was stable. In fact, it was the Thai baht. Thai baht was pegged in the US dollar. So I think that's one of the reasons why that weakness came about. The pegging, meaning when the exchange rate goes with the US dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So when the US dollar strengthened, the Thai baht became very uncompetitive versus other exporters. As you know, Thailand was exporting. And when the currency of the Thailand currency is strong, it cannot compete as much with the other countries. So what the Thai government did was to devalue or to remove that peg.
Yeah.
And when they removed that peg in July 1997, it went haywire. Everything blew up, and their exchange rate doubled. And that created a lot of dislocation or as usual confusion in the financial markets, including interest rates and the stock market.
Yeah, it was called the Asian flu, correct?
Asian flu.
At that time, the president of the Philippines was Fidel V. Ramos.
Yes.
And that was also a relatively peaceful, economically regime for us, right?
In fact, our country was doing well economically.
Yes, we were touted as one of the Asia's tiger economies.
Yes, during that time.
Yeah, because during the time I was gung-ho enough to give up my career because I said, "Ooh, we're doing fine." So, do you remember what was happening in the Fausto household?
Yeah. We had our third son.
Yes.
Remember, his name was Anton. Third son, born in December 1996.
Yeah.
So he was only about
4 months old.
4 months old, and so that was our third son.
Yeah.
And in fact, we just kind of moved here.
Well, it had been a few years already.
Yes. So and I was working in a bank
Yes.
as investments head of PCI,
PCI
Bank
Bank.
at that time, head of chief investment officer of PCI Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happening to us was, well, we were taking care of 3 boys and a baby, 2 boys and a baby.
Yes, I was nursing Anton. Oh, by the way, we'd like to say hi to Cherry.
Hello,
She says
Cherry.
happy 20th anniversary, honey.
Oh yes, thank you very much for FNAP.
Okay, so when we were having our own baby, you were having your own baby. Tell us how it started.
You know, the baby was formalized in 1997, but before that, it was kind of a discussion among fund
It's an
managers.
informal thing, right?
It
You
was
would
very
just get
informal.
together for coffee.
Because
lunch.
prior to 1997, the stock market was doing very well, and there were only a few professional fund managers or people who are in charge of managing money for other people. And
Index was 2850.
the stock
So,
market
just to
index
give
was
them-
only at 2,800 at that time.
Mhm.
And among us, the fund managers, we sometimes get together, share our views, have lunch together, coffee,
Share your chismes.
share chismes, look what stock is going up, what stock is going down, and you know, we like to share this so that we can better manage the funds that we are responsible for. So we were meeting once in a while, and then as the months went
No,
by.
tell us who you were with.
Ah,
the
yeah.
informal group.
Yeah, they formed a group. It was Efren Cruz.
Yeah.
He was then
Hi,
the head-
Efren.
Hello, Efren. He was the head then of the mutual fund management company of the Philippines. It was, I think, he was the president then. At that
Yeah,
time.
and Efren right now is very active in his advocacy to teach about financial
Yes,
literacy.
financial
And Rich
literacy.
is his.
Yes. The other one is Joanne Ayala. She
Hey,
she
hi,
was now
Joanne.
at the time working at Far East Bank in the trust, also handling investments. And then it was June Bautista. June Bautista used to head the investments of AFP-RSBS.
Oh, yeah,
the Armed
I
Forces of the
remember.
Philippines. They were
AFP-RSBS.
managing money for
Yes.
the soldiers. And then also we had well, he already passed away. His name is Beb Solomon.
He was with.
He was with Citibank.
All right.
He was head of investments of Citibank at that time. So we were the incorporators, and I was the head of investments of PCI Bank. And we were kind of agreed among ourselves to,
That's formal.
you know, we were talking, and we wanted to talk to the regulators already or talk to other organizations.
So you had to be represented like
Yes.
as an entity.
Yes,
also.
we had to be represented, and we decided among ourselves, why don't we register, and so that we'll have a legal entity, so that legal entity will be the one talking to the regulators, to the other parties, so that we will have some kind of a voice for the fund management industry.
Yes. And I think that's one of the very big achievements of the FMAP, because you're able to unite everybody to just have a single voice, and when you do have a single voice, you have more significance.
Yes,
You
yes.
can
it's
be heard
stronger,
more
it's
easily.
stronger. It's also when for example, the central bank talks to us.
Yes.
It's one body. That one. They're not talking to each one of us. So we will have. It's difficult if we will have different points of view.
Yes.
So better we unite,
Uh-huh.
and then we talk. I speak as one voice, so that we can move the capital markets further. Because at that time, the financial market was not really as developed. That is why we've suffered the financial crisis.
Yeah.
The banking industry was not as strong. The foreign exchange wasn't as free, and then the market was not really as meaning developed during the time. So it was critical for us to organize, come together, so that we can improve the way things are being done, particularly in the investment industry.
Maybe you can also share with us what were those things that you did. Like I know that you were always hand in hand working with the Bangko Sentral, the PSE, IC probably, and the other regulators.
During that time, there were different organizations representing investments, like they call it the ICAP, Investment Companies Association of the Philippines, what that turned into PIFA. They were the group of mutual funds. Then there's a group of trusts, the TOAP, Trust Officers Association of the Philippines, which I was a member of as well. And then there's a group for insurance companies, like the Association of insurance companies. Now, they had their own, of course, they had their own objectives, they had their own agenda. What we did, what we try to do is to unite all of this, put them together.
Because anyway, you are all investing.
Yes, we're all investing money for people. So why not have one voice for all of these investment professionals?
Okay.
And then put it together as one voice so that when we talk to the regulators, when we speak, we are speaking for and on behalf of the investment management committee.
Yeah. And then the para law, I remember this was like ages ago. I've been hearing the para law.
So
finally,
it went there now. So we were representing the investors for the crafting of the para law.
So you were working also with Congress.
Yeah, we had to sit in the technical working committee. We had to give our views, how it's supposed to be done. We had our contribution. We had their suggestions, and all other things from then on, like for example the real estate investment trust. We had the law on the real estate and investments, and then we had contributions in different rules of the central bank. We call it circulars, the circulars of the central bank pertaining to asset management or investment management. So we were contributors to that. We sat in the board of Fixed Income Exchange as a market governance board member. I sat there as the representative of investors about the fixed income naman. And then we have a lot of this, particularly the Capital Markets Council, the different organizations that had to do with investment. So all those 20 years we were participating in this, in trying to improve the way things are being managed, so that to help more Filipinos participate in the investment world, so that it's not as complicated. You have the fund managers helping them manage their money. Yeah,
and also part of that probably is also you educate your members. I know that you have very regular forums. You would be inviting speakers from the academe, from the government agencies, and also experts in different fields, right?
What we did is to come up with a monthly meeting so that the fund managers will attend and listen to subject matter experts like economists, strategists, so that we have different views. And then we will use it as an information for our own strategy, so that we will have better views, not just in the Philippines, but regionally and even globally. We invite global speakers, we invite regional speakers, regional strategists, regional economists, and then it adds to our knowledge of how we manage investments well. So that's what we do for members every month. And the members now continue to look forward to that, because it's not just we started off with just paying for the venue ourselves. I mean, the lunch we have to pay for our own lunch from our own pockets. Then the organization did some fundraising through the help of Wilfred Sonkenpo, and during his time he was raising funds through movie premieres. And then we...
Oh, I just have a cute story. It doesn't have really anything to do about much. But I remember one of the movies that you sponsored was Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
When our baby was still very young. So I heard him talk. So he knew that this was an FMAP. It was an FMAP event, and he would hear that Marvin Fausto was a director of FMAP. Okay, and this is Lord of the Rings that we were watching. So I heard him talk to one of our neighbors. He was very young. Anton was talking to one of our neighbors, and they were talking about Lord of the Rings, and then he goes, "Do you know that my father is the director of Lord of the Rings?" Do you remember that story? I just recall
director.
Right. I heard that people were calling Papa as a director of director of FMAP, not Lord of the Rings.
That we had a film showing of Lord of the Rings.
Talking about movies, FMAP also has this award. You give awards to brokers, the best in research, the best traders. So I say that this is your version of the Oscars.
Yes, we do that because we deal with stockbrokers, with fixed income salespeople in our investing. So we have counterparts, we call that counterparties. So we also get information from them, strategies, research materials, view on economy.
So how is the polling
system? What we did is that come up with a poll during my time.
So there's a set of criteria.
Yes, we set up a criteria and kind of have a voting criteria.
Okay.
So to choose who is the best analyst, among all of these, who is the best economist, best strategist, best fixed income house, best equity house, and we did that for every year. Since I started in April 1999, and then we did it every year, and then the people who did well are given a recognition, a plaque of appreciation, and bragging right. And usually sometimes it comes out to their
so this year you're also having that in your celebration.
Yes, next week.
So you better make sure that there's no Steve Harvey moment here. Who's going to announce? Who's going to announce?
There will be presenters. There will be presenters, but not Steve Harvey. So we will have our next awarding ceremony in April 20 next week in Manila, where we will be giving awards to the best analysts, brokers, etc. of 2016.
Yes. So aside from all this, the education and working hand in hand with the government agencies, I know that since you're able to manage your money well, even if it's a non-stock, non-profit, you are also able to give back to society. I understand that you have scholars already.
Yes.
And you also donated to Gawad Karim.
Yes, we did that.
What is that? So tell us what makes FMAP tick.
Oh yeah. In FMAP, while we're all investment professionals, we try to do our best in.
And you are competitors, right?
Yeah, and we are very much competing against each other because when you manage money, you compete against each other on the returns that you generate from the funds that you manage, and of course, people will buy your fund or invest in you if you do well.
Yeah.
So we're kind of competing against each other. However, having said that, we're not just competitors, but in FMAP, we are friends.
Yeah.
In other words, we are able to cooperate with each other, and we are able to give our inputs in order to improve the whole industry, even if we're competing against each other. So we have this help so that we can improve the way we manage money for the investment public.
So how do you inject the fun? Because I also noticed that it's a fun group actually, and as I said in my article, even if sometimes you find what they're talking about as a little bit nosebleed and boring.
Yeah, I was going there. So even if we were very, very serious in our work, we also have fun. Usually we do it. We have a Christmas party every year. We have our get-togethers. We have our annual convention, which everybody looks forward to. We go to a place like the beach or Boracay and Bohol, Palawan, where we have our convention. We invite international speakers, even people from Congress or from the government, and then we work seriously, and also we party seriously.
Labore dure, lure dure. Work hard, play hard.
Yes.
So tell us about your celebration. I understand that there's going to be an event at the AIM.
Okay. For next week, in celebration of our 20th anniversary, we will have series of events starting on Monday. That's on the 17th. Or every day of that, we will be interviewed. Our current president, Dino Basas, will be interviewed on ANC, on Market Edge. And then every day, there will be one interviewed on television about the market, but also about FMAP. Every day, and that's Dino Basas. The next day is Smith Chua, Chief Investment Officer of BPI. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be Joy Toplano, the Head of Trust of Metrobank. And then on the Thursday, that's me. I'll be interviewed on Friday, and it's Fritz Ocampo, the Chief Investment Officer of BDO. Every day we will come out on television.
And tell us about the April 18th.
Yeah, on Tuesday, on April 18th, we will be having this forum where we partnered with CFA Society, the Chartered Financial Analyst Society, where they will be bringing in a speaker, Mary Leong. She will be talking about how investors' rights and protection be done, not just in the region, but also globally. And then, that's the first part. She will talk about different strategies, different principles that the CFA follow. And then, we will have interesting panel of these chief investment officers that will talk about investing in passive versus active.
That's the debate.
Yeah, the debate between passive funds and active funds. Just for the people, the passive funds are the ones where they just follow a certain index, like ETF, exchange traded funds, or index funds. They don't follow any other strategy except that. Now, the active funds are where the fund managers are the one dictating where they're going to buy, how much they're going to buy. It is the skill of the fund manager that comes in. So the debate between those two
I'd like to hear that.
And it will be, and the panel will be, I'll be moderating the panel, and it's going to be participated in by
Philip,
the most experienced fund managers in the country. Number one, you have Wilson C. Of Phil Equity, the fund manager of Phil Equity, and you have Philip Hagedorn, the fund manager of ATR Asset Management. He's also very well versed and long experience in fund management. And of course, Fritz Ocampo, the chief investment officer of BDO, the largest trust funds in the country, where I used to work. Yes, well, I used to be there. So now I'll be the one moderating that, and we'll be having a wonderful discussion on strategies, investments, and passive funds and active funds, and it's going to be interesting, and it's for free.
Yeah, so you just try to register. There's a link in my article today if there are still slots available.
Yeah, there will be. I hope there will be slots available from. It's going to be at 1:30 to 5 o'clock.
Yeah, so
in the afternoon at the AIM.
Yeah, fun things happening on the 20th anniversary. Dalawang dekada na po ang FMAP. So now to close, because we are already. Mag-overtime tayo.
Yeah. I really do that more.
20 years. That's such a long time. And you know, just look at Anton. Where our baby is now a big boy. So the same with FMAP. From a very small, how many were you at the start?
You know.
With 1 billion in AUM,
yes.
managed among the few of you who started this, and now you have
4.5 trillion pesos under management. We started with 9 institutions or 18 members with managing about 1 billion pesos in 1997. Now it has grown to 48 institutions with 298 members, managing more than 4.5 trillion pesos. So it's a very large
party.
Yes, a very large. So it has grown for the past 20 years. On a consistent basis, regardless of where the market is, where the economy is, going up and down, we experience all of those. I think it's the tenacity of the members, and I think
it's the fun.
And it's also the fun that we do, and that made it sustainable.
Yeah. So, how do you see FMAP 20 years?
Oh my God, 20 years. 20 years ago, I didn't really see that we're going to be managing 4.5 trillion. Now, 20 years from now, I think I have to dream much bigger. I think we will be looking at more than 20 trillion in funds under management. We have 500 members. I think this investment management industry is just going to grow because of the demographic window or demographic sweet spot that the Philippines is undergoing. And for the next 10 years, our economy is just going to be growing the fastest because of the majority of the population is really in their productive stage. So I think FMAP will just glide with it, and it's going to be spearheading the investment management industry in order to help more Filipinos manage money well, more professionally, so that it can be for everyone.
And with that, so that investing would be for everyone. And with that, I'd like to thank you, honey.
Yes, you're very welcome.
My favorite person in the world. I'd like to thank all of you who watched, and for those who you may know, some of your friends who may be interested in watching this, do share the link. So, till next Wednesday, maraming salamat po, and let's end with that line.
Bye.
Investing! Investing is for everyone.